Hi there. Welcome to Traveling Light. My name is Lisa, and we are here talking about energy healing. And that is whether you are a Reiki student or practitioner, just interested in Reiki, or if you're just interested in spirituality on your own healing journey and interested in energy and mind body awareness. So, today I want to talk about something that people ask me all the time, my students and my clients, and that is, how do I connect with the Reiki energy? How do I feel the energy? And how do I hear my spirit guides? Now, the interesting thing about both of these questions is that the answer is really the same for both. At this point, when people ask me, usually they have been trying, they're doing some sort of rituals or trying really hard to visualize spirit guides or like wondering if they're feeling the Reiki energy or not. At that point, usually it's not about like learning more symbols or saying the right incantation or prayer. It's about entering a clear, focused state of awareness. And really, the easiest way to get to that state is simply using your breath. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about why breath work is so central to Reiki. And then in the next video, we're going to practice the technique together. Now, a lot of people, they want to, like I said, they want to feel the energy, they want to hear guidance, but they stay stuck in their heads, like they're trying to visualize really hard, or they're saying a mantra, or trying to do the Reiki symbols. But if the mind is busy, and that busyness might even be coming from the idea of like, oh, am I doing this right? So that it's thinking about other things, your energy, you can't settle in. You can't get clear. The breath is what bridges the mind to the body. So we have control over it. We can use the breath. And it's the simplest, most direct way to move from all that doing, trying, and worrying into this simple state of being where we can open our receptivity. Without the breath and without being in this state, those rituals just become another activity, more like an empty motion that doesn't really do anything. But with the breath, everything becomes alive, everything becomes awake, and then we get into that state that we've been looking for. Now, you may or may not know that the word spirit actually comes from the Latin spiritus, which is the word for breath. And oh, it expanded from there, from the simple act of breathing, into the realization that because we have to breathe to be alive, that it became that breath of light, that animating spirit, the soul. And if you notice, many wisdom traditions start right there. In yoga, we have prana. In Tai Chi and Qigong, it's the Qi. And in Reiki, the key part is that life force energy. And breath is woven into the foundation of all those traditions. So before we even think about channeling energy outward to somebody else, we begin by breathing, expanding, taking the energy in to like ramp up our own energy field first so that we're not using our own energy to try to help somebody else. So, in Reiki training, you know this if you're one of my students or if you've taken another Reiki class, but there's a practice called Joshin Kokyo Ho, and that is part of Hatsuri Ho, which means calling in the energy, breathing in the light. And this is how we start our Reiki practice. And most many, not all, many practitioners, I know I did when I was first starting, want to rush past this step. They want to like get to doing the Reiki, right? So they start with the hand positions and like trying to figure out what am I supposed to do next. But they've never really arrived in their center. When you breathe into your belly, into your lower abdomen, your hara, your lower dantian, your energy can settle and expand and flow. And that's what allows the energy, the Reiki, to come in and move through you rather than using your own energy. And this shift into that open, receptive, quiet state is the same thing then that allows you to hear that subtle guidance, because the static of the mind has quieted down. And this is where the real connection happens. Instead of thinking about energy and worrying about how to do it, you start to feel it. You feel it when your awareness drops into your body. Your whole energy field then can soften and expand, take in more energy. And you don't have to force anything now or keep worrying. You simply notice the calm that appears as you exhale and inhale, take in more energy. That calm, that state of being, that is the connection that's going to continue to open you up so that you can get the guidance and feel the energy the way that you've been trying to. So in the next video, I'm going to walk you through that actual breathing technique so that you can experience it for yourself. Again, called Joshin Kokyo-ho, and it's the first step toward feeling the Reiki flow more naturally. So if you've ever felt unsure about whether you're doing it right, or if you have these questions like, how do I feel, get to guidance, before you do all those rituals that you may have been Googling or have been taught, don't miss out on getting that connection and doing it through the breath. Okay? I'll see you in the next video. Leave me a comment below if you have any questions. And I'll be happy to make another video about that. Okay? All right. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.